Before I get into this video, I would like to give you guys a brief update. So you guys may have noticed that I haven't really been posting up videos for the last few weeks, and that was because my laptop had broken down during the last few weeks, and I had to spend the last few weeks trying to get my laptop fixed, so that's why I wasn't able to post up any YouTube videos since then. And even though my laptop is now fixed, I do need to get a new laptop, so there's that. But this video that you're about to see today, it was originally supposed to be posted up in October, but because my laptop had broken down during October, I wasn't able to post up this video in October. So yeah, this video is a bit delayed from October, but I'm happy to be back on YouTube again, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hey everyone, this is Rap News Blog Animation Bliss, and welcome to another anime discussion series. So today's anime discussion is going to be about my thoughts on the third episode of the Amazing Digital Circus, The Mystery of Mildenhall Manor. So this episode starts off with Kang sending the gang from the Amazing Digital Circus into another dimension, and this time he sends them to a scary mansion since this is a Halloween theme episode and he wants to do something scary this time around. And it turns out that Pomni and Kinger ends up being thrown into the scary looking portal, and they end up in Mildenhall Manor, and it's there that they have to figure out the mystery surrounding the ghosts of that manor. Meanwhile, in this episode, Kane and Zubul have the therapy session with each other as Kane tries to figure out what kind of issues Zubul has. So what are my thoughts on this episode? I really enjoyed this episode. So let's talk about what I did like about this episode. So the first thing that I liked about this episode was the creepy atmosphere. Since this is a Halloween themed episode, of course the horror in this episode is going to be played up a lot more than it was in the previous two episodes. And I do love the fact that the horror gets ramped up a lot in this episode, as it really made this episode pretty creepy to watch, especially when we see the scenes with the ghosts at the manor. They're probably some of the creepiest ghosts I've seen in web animation history, and I really like that. But there's also another level of creepiness to this episode, as it deals with the characters going through a lot of psychological issues, which I'll talk more about in a sec. And I love the fact that we get to see these characters going through these psychological issues throughout this episode, and how that all affects them as characters. Which leads me to the second thing that I liked about this episode with the characters. So I like the fact that this episode actually developed the characters a bit more. Like, we get to learn more about Kinger himself and his tragic backstory in regards to the Amazing Digital Circus. I won't really go into details about what happens with Kinger's past life, but let's just say it's some of the most tragic moments I've seen in the show so far, and it really made me feel for his character a lot more in this episode than I did in the previous episodes, as it makes him into a much more tragic character. And I really liked his relationship with Pomni, as he's probably one of the few characters that Pomni is actually getting close to. And I do like the fact that Pomni is starting to get a little closer to the rest of the members of the Digital Circus, and we get to see that here with her relationship with Kinger, so I really like that. And then of course the B plot of this episode is Zubul going to therapy with Kang and confessing their insecurities with their body. So I like the fact that we get to learn more about Zubul as a character in this episode and what their insecurities are in regards to their body. Now, I really don't have any issues with this episode. I thought that this episode was pretty well done. I guess if there's like a minor nitpick I have with this episode is that I wish that we get to see more of Ragatha and Jax and the other characters in this episode, but it's clear that this episode is more focused on Zubul and Kinger, and I do like the fact that those two characters get their own moments to shine in this episode, and we get to learn more about those two characters in this episode. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy that we get to learn more about Kinger and Zubul as characters in this episode, and I'm actually kind of fine with the other characters like Ragatha and Jax not really getting the full spotlight in this episode, since this episode belongs to Kinger and Zubul. And now a word from this channel. All aboard the animated social media express. Want to send some tweets my way? Then follow me on Twitter. Want to join our special animation community? Then join our Discord group, Animation Bliss. Want to see more updates on our YouTube videos? Then check out our Facebook group, Animation Bliss. Want to download on everything going on with this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, back to the video. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I love the fact that this episode has a scarier feel to it than the previous 2 episodes, and I do love the fact that this episode actually explores the characters of Kinger and Zubo on a deeper level, and I hope we get to see more of these type of episodes with the other characters. Like, I want to learn more about Ragatha as a character, and I also want to learn more about Jax as a character. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing more episodes from this show, and I can't wait to see how this show is going to end. So those are my thoughts on the 3rd episode of The Amazing Digital Circus, and tell me in the comments down below, have you guys seen the 3rd episode of The Amazing Digital Circus? And did you like the episode? Did you hate the episode? Please let me know in the comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later. Hey animation fans, like this video? If you want to see more animated content from this channel, then please hit that big old animated subscribe button so that you can get more awesome content from this channel.